Okay, we have some inspirational players that you run into from time to time. We just had Jason McElwain on the line just seconds ago, and we have Andrew Lawson, our own special basketball player here from Norwell High School. And on the line, we've got a young man that I found on the internet, and I think you've seen him in many places. I went to college in Ohio, and let me tell you, college wrestling, high school wrestling in Ohio and Pennsylvania, places like that, is huge. I can't even begin to tell you. It's getting bigger and bigger like that around here. But I can't even, if you have not been there and seen this, you've got really a nice experience waiting for you out there somewhere. On the line, we got a young man from Hillsborough High School, I believe it is, in Ohio, just somewhere down in the Cincinnati area, named Dustin Carter. Dustin, unfortunately, contracted a blood disorder when he was like 7 or 8 years old and lost the use of his limbs, both his arms and his legs. And I'm going to let him tell you the story from that point. Dustin, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on?
Hey, just following the world around these days with some great inspirational stories like yourself. Dustin, tell me about. Can you remember when you first got the word of the blood disorder and all that stuff? What went through your mind? That's too long ago.
I really don't remember anything from it. It's just all a big blur.
Yeah. Wow. You parlayed that into a sense of competitiveness that has carried you a long ways, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I mean, you can imagine not having to use your arms and your legs and then taking up a sport like wrestling, okay, and then taking up the wrestling to the next level and taking it all the way to the state level of wrestling. Dustin, when did you start wrestling? What age?
I was in the 8th grade.
Okay. And what kind of a kid were you prior to the 8th grade?
You know, I was a little disrespectful. I didn't really, fit in much places because I was a little brat. I got bad grades, didn't really bother in school. I guess wrestling teaches you discipline.
It does. When did you realize you were good? And how did you pick wrestling as opposed to something else?
Well, my brother used to wrestle. I just wanted to start a sport, and I just started wrestling. And then, it's just my calling.
Yeah. I'm going to guess you probably lost a few matches along the way, too, right?
No.
No, you started right off being successful with it?
Well, I always started, I've always, been a starter. I've lost a few wrestle-offs, but, just in the past.
Okay.
I had no clue how to wrestle anything about it when I first started.
Wow. I should point out that if you go online, you'll see Dustin, he manages to do almost anything I could ever do, and then up and down stairs and everything. And then your coach said your penmanship is better than his. That's something you really had to work on, I guess, right?
Yeah, it took a little while to really master that.
No, you've mastered a lot of things. So take us back to when all the friends said, you can't wrestle, it's never going to happen. All those doubting people, what are they saying now that you've taken it to the state level, huh?
Well, when I first started wrestling, people's like, well, that's good, he's doing it. They never really would expect me. You got people that see me wrestle like, okay, this kid's wrestling, and then all of a sudden I just start winning and winning more, and then before you know it, I just got to the state level. Just worked really hard at it.
Yeah. And you took it here, you're a senior now?
Yep. Okay,
took it to the state level, and I mean, I don't care who you are out there. If you take it to the state level in wrestling, that's one of the most incredible things you can do. And what was the weight class, 103?
Yeah.
103? So how tough were these guys in Columbus when you went down there?
It was tough. I really, all my matches were close. I could hang with them. I mean, anything into the matches where it could have went either way.
Wow. You must be such an inspiration. You got to be one of the. We have a young man here, in Andrew Lawson, in studio with us tonight from Norwell, who got 11 points, and he has Down syndrome. With 11 points against East Bridgewater, hit a 3 in the All-Star game. We just had Jason McElwain on from ESPN, and you get certain special circumstances in life, and it's like we had our football done this year. I remember a fellow saying, when you step on the mat, when you go out there and you represent your town, your school, and so forth, you're on stage and you can't get off. And you either perform or you don't. And obviously, you've performed. How do I ask this? What motivates you? What is it that motivates Dustin Carter?
Passion. I love wrestling. Everything about it. I've dreamed ever since day one in wrestling just to be at that state tournament, that one moment.
Wow.
And I work about every day, shadow drill in my room, work out all the time. I mean, I put so many hours into it, and what drove me is that one thing in my mind was being at the state tournament.
Wow, and obviously it's paid off. They show the scene of you on the internet when you go out there onto the mat at that level. Can you put that into words? Well, what's going on? The crowd is humongous. if I use an Ohio expression. I mean, the crowd is huge.
And when I first walked out, I was in the tunnel, and you really can't hear much in there. You see, you're warming up, you're jumping around, you're staying loose, and can't hear really nothing. And as soon as you step out, you look up, and it's just tremendously loud. It's gorgeous.
Wow.
It really, you feel really small. It takes your breath away. It literally does.
Wow.
And you have to stop and look at it for a minute. You have to.
And all those hours in the weight room, all those hours in cutting the weight and all that stuff the wrestlers do, it just, wow. It all condenses down to one day, huh?
It was worth it.
Wow. Okay. Hey, Dustin, I'd like to talk to you at greater length another time. We're running out of time tonight. Can we talk again maybe next week or so?
That'd be fine, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey, you keep up the good work. You're an inspiration to a lot of people, including myself and the Andrew Lawsons and the guys of this world who have to overcome a few things. I think it's terrific what you're doing. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
Hey, Dustin, thanks so much.
All right, see you.
Okay, bye-bye.